What's going on? Found her? No. I've been trying to call her. I've been trying to reach her. I don't know where she's at. She's left me.
March 3rd, 2022. Moses Lake, Washington. Mother of four, Yanira Cedillos, goes out with friends to celebrate her 30th birthday. The next morning, she doesn't show up for work.
No signs of any foul play or anything like that. But she's not there.
She's gone without a trace. No clues, except for her own erratic behavior in the days and weeks prior.
There was somebody that was talking. She's like, where they came from, the bruises. She lies to me sometimes because she knows I don't like him. One thing I do kind of find weird, he deletes all his messages.
And it's that deleted phone data that will blow this case wide open, revealing a truth almost too disturbing to be shown. Here on the Decoder, this is the chilling story of the disappearance of Yanira Cedillos.
Back to dispatch, can I help you?
Hi, yes, I need to report a missing person.
On the morning of March 4th, Yanira's sister calls the police. Yanira hasn't shown up for work, which isn't like her at all.
So they were very concerned the fact that she didn't show up. So my mom drove over to her apartment right now. Her car's out there. She's been banging on the door, but there's no answer.
Are you wanting like a welfare check done to your sister's house? Have an officer go over there?
Yes, please.
Yanira was born in California, but she'd since moved with her family to Moses Lake, Washington. Named after the lake it sits next to, it's a creative, friendly town, perfect for raising a family. And that's what Yanira was doing. A single mother to 3 young children, 2 daughters and a son, she worked hard at a community health center to provide for them. They lived with her mom so she could work without worrying about childcare. But she saw them every weekend, and she was full of hopes for her life too. In her Instagram bio, she wrote, "Aspire to inspire before we expire." She'd never miss a day of work without explanation, and she'd never disappear without letting her family know where she was. On March 3rd, her Facebook feed was flooded with birthday messages from all her friends and family, all the people who loved her and wanted to celebrate with her. Some of them arrived a day late on March 4th. Those ones she'd never get to read. The cops head to her apartment to conduct a welfare check. When they get there, the apartment manager says she heard yelling from inside.
What do you got? What do you got? Police fireman. Come to the door. So that man heard yelling. Is that correct? I heard yelling. I don't know who the manager is or where she is. Okay. You got any progress while what you're telling me is your sister typically comes to work. Has not came to work. No. We don't know if there's yelling coming from here, but you're concerned. Well, we don't know if anyone's in there. We have family here, so our car's here. Can you guys try calling her? See if and when's the last time you talked to her? Was there any issues last night? Did she say of any issues?
Because of the concern for Yanira's welfare, the cops use a key provided by the building manager to enter the apartment. But it's empty. There's no sign of Yanira or anyone else.
And this is her car?
No, that's not mine. Hers is a white one.
Okay. Yeah, we can get her information, put an ATL out. Yeah, she's not there. We secured her room.
She probably took her then. Because she came back, so that's her vehicle.
Knowing Yanira as they do, as someone trustworthy and reliable, her mom and sister fear the worst. They think she might have been kidnapped.
What are you thinking?
What was boyfriend's name again? John?
John. Just get an ATL out. Yeah, sure. I look him up, get hold of her.
Yeah, I think you arrested him last time.
Yanira has been in an on-again, off-again relationship with a man named Johnny Trujillo, also known as Juan Gastilum, for years. He's 28, and he's had run-in with the cops in the past.
Your sister's got.
She's reported a lot of times because when she ended the relationship, he got very violent. So she went to Debbie to put the protection order and stuff. And he's just been coming around, calling her nonstop.
Johnny could have nothing to do with Yanira's disappearance, or he could have everything to do with it. This leaves the cops with two priorities: finding him and retracing Yanira's steps. Yanira's sister tells them she spent the evening out with friends at Papa's Casino, celebrating her birthday. So the officers track one of those friends down, a woman named Anna.
It's kind of weird because she never missed a word for her. Yeah, she always texts me. She texts me. She tells me I'm gonna leave or something.
How drunk was she last night when she left?
Not much, to be honest.
Just a little tipsy, maybe.
Yeah, just tipsy. She left me at Papa's at the bar. It's just nothing. But she left. She said she was going to the bathroom. I think she's with her ex-boyfriend.
What's your name? Is that Juan?
Yes.
Johnny or Juan?
Well, his legal name is Juan, I think, but he goes by Johnny. I'm sure he lives in Henderson. She came with me. I'm not sure who.
You know if she had her phone?
She did have her phone, yeah, because she was talking to him on the phone when she left. And she was like, "Yeah, I'll be back in the middle of the restroom." And so I sat there and didn't leave without her, and she never came back.
Can you try calling her real quick and see if it goes to voicemail or if it's on?
Yeah, he hasn't done it. I don't have anything on him. I see his Facebook I blocked him because yeah. I'm almost 1,000% sure that she, because he was calling her over and over again last night.
What time were you guys up?
We got there.
She says she last saw Yanira at around 11:30.
And I talked to him on the phone too, and I told him to stop calling her because she
On her.
on hers because she just kept blowing up her phone. I told her not to leave with him. She's gonna go with him. And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna use the restroom," and I'm not gonna leave her. Like him. Because he's done a whole bunch of stuff to her.
Can you elaborate? I understand there's domestic.
She's called the cops multiple times. I told her she changed her number just barely a week ago, and she doesn't to avoid him. And she said that he found her number. I don't know how.
Why would she be trying to avoid him? Have you seen her or seen him ever before?
It's when times that she's trying to pull my house. He's up here, just over.
What kind of stuff would she tell you that he does?
He would push her. He would hold her really strong. He would.
Does he ever threaten her with words? Like that he's going to do something to her?
Not that I've heard of, but if she said, I think so. But I haven't heard
Has he ever choked her or strangled her or anything like that?
not that I've seen. Not that she's told me that he did it. Son. Yeah, he was basically my Johnson. Yeah, he was telling me the night before last night that he hit him with the glass on his head. Big bruise on his shoulder. That was a few months ago.
So you see her.
Yeah, she came to my house and even broke her. Yeah, she broke his soul.
She's more than from those bruises.
Yeah, she came here. She was trying to, I think she was trying to get some stuff from him, and she went to his house to get the stuff, and some fight happened, and he broke her phone. He like shattered it, and so she was bleeding from her fingers.
Did she tell you that?
Oh, I know he was in town because I talked to him. When I talked to him, he told me. Because I was like, "Hey, stop calling her. She's with me. It's her birthday. We're just trying to celebrate. Don't call her." take you to come back. No, just surprise him. Why are you just so easy?
What Anna doesn't know is if he succeeded.
How many people you know? It's a group, yeah. And I reach out to them and see if they remember.
As the officers try to track down the rest of Yanira's friends, they also talk to an employee at the casino who remembers seeing Yanira and Anna that night.
One of them is helping the other walk.
Okay.
And I can't remember which. And then when the one couldn't walk, the other one stopped and was like, "I'll give you a piggyback ride." That's what really caught my attention. Because I thought that was cute.
Definitely.
So, yes. And then they were headed towards the parking lot. One of them was telling the other one that they absolutely could not drive.
Right.
And the other one was, you can tell she wasn't happy about that.
This contradicts what Anna herself told the cops. She went outside with Yanira and they had some kind of argument, but the casino employee didn't see anything further. So the officers go back to Anna searching for answers. She's been pointing fingers at Johnny, maybe deliberately. Maybe she knows more than she's saying.
How do you know Yanira?
So I actually worked with her at Moses Lake Community Health Center.
Okay.
That's how we became friends.
Do you know, I guess, what can you tell me about Yanira? Tell me about her character. Tell me about her life. Tell me about who is she?
Ever since I met her, actually, she's been, I guess, a loud personality, if you want to call it that. You know, she talks to everyone. She's not shy about speaking up. She loves her kids. She's funny. She always likes to be the person to talk to everyone. She knows everyone, pretty much. And I would always kind of just stay back, you know, just kind of watch her. I guess I was kind of the more overprotective friend.
Anna says Yanira recently moved apartments to be further away from Johnny.
Don't know how he found out where she lived. That part I couldn't tell you. I definitely never talked to this guy, really. I think I only hung out with him once.
How do you know that he found out where she lived?
She told me that he showed her house, or that he was following her. She said that he saw his car parked out on the street by the sidewalk.
Okay.
Or what she thought was his car.
And did they live together when she lived at 300?
At one point, yes.
How long did they live together?
Well, when I first met her, I think she was already living with him, so 4-5 months, I think.
Okay.
4-5 months they lived together.
He moved out in December, back to live with his family in Hermiston, 100 miles south over the state line.
They said, I think it was like a couple weeks ago she changed her number.
Can you tell the reason why?
Because Johnny kept calling her and texting her. That's what she thought.
From living together in a loving relationship to doing everything she could to avoid him. Like they say, you can never truly understand a relationship from the outside. But to Anna, it looked bad. And then it was Yanira's 30th birthday.
So, March 3rd, I was talking to her throughout the day. She was telling me that, you know, her whole body hurt and, she felt kind of like icky. And so I kept asking, are you sure you want to go out? You know, are you sure you still want to go? We can move it to the weekend, or we can move it to a different day. It doesn't have to be on your birthday. She was like, no, I still want to go.
Anna picked her up at around 6 p.m. and they went out for dinner.
And then after that, Martin was speaking with his friend Javier. And they suggested, do you guys want to go to Papa's? Do you guys want to meet us there? And so I asked her, you want to go, or do you just want to go home? And she said, no, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. And I was like, okay, me too. I'll go, for a little bit. But on the way, from the drive to Moses Lake to meet Frida, she was on the phone with Johnny.
Oh, really?
And
I didn't know that.
because she lies to me sometimes because she knows I don't like him. So she hides sometimes when she talks to him. And then I was like, let me see the phone. And so she gave me the phone, and I was like, hello. And he was like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, why are you calling her right now? Like, why are you calling her? She's with me. Like, what do you think we're gonna do? He was like, I'm already on my way. And again, I was just like, why? Like, and he was just getting more irritated the more I told him not to come. Because he was being loud with me. And so I started to get loud with him, kind of over, trying to talk over him. He was like, serious, I paid a lot of money for these tickets. And he just kept repeating that, he paid a lot of money, that he was already on his way.
Having hung up on Johnny, Anna and Yanira tried to enjoy their night out.
And then I remember walking out with her, and someone else was helping me as well. I had some like 4-inch, 5-inch heels on that night, some boots. And at that point, my feet were already kind of giving out. And I had a couple of drinks as well. And I just remember walking out into the parking lot. But then after that, I don't really recall much after that. Martine told me that me and her had an argument, but I don't remember what it was about.
Okay. And I guess let me start off by saying, if something happened, I'm not going to get you in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I just want to know what.
Right.
It's my understanding you were a little bit intoxicated and wanted to do something after that.
Yeah, they told me that I wanted to drive my car, and I was like, I didn't remember that part. I was like I said, I don't remember me trying to drive my car or what the argument or even having an argument with her.
CCTV from the casino corroborates this. Yanira, in her gray sweatpants, can be seen holding Anna up.
I remember crying. I was like, Yanira, Yanira, and I was crying, and then it went blank. And it went blank because I had fallen with my heels, and I was intoxicated, and I guess I kind of knocked myself out a little bit.
That explains the Band-Aid on her forehead.
You can remember, do you remember what time you guys left? Yeah.
I'm gonna say it was around 11:45.
What makes you believe that?
I have a call that I tried to call her at 11:45 on my phone.
Okay. So it was Martina and Alex that took you home, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What happened to
I don't. I think he said he tried to drive like past where I last saw her and told him to follow her. Mm-hmm. And then he said he didn't see her anymore.
The next morning, the Friday morning, Anna woke up to the news that Yanira was missing. Anna sent her multiple texts and Snapchats asking where she was.
And then I went back on, I think it was on Saturday morning or Friday night. I tried to check back on my Snapchat, and she had blocked me.
Yanira, or someone using Yanira's phone. That same Friday, Anna received messages from an anonymous account asking about Yanira's disappearance.
And I told them, yeah, we don't have much update right now, but, I'm not sure what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then that's when he said, this is Johnny. And I'm like, Johnny? But it didn't even cross my mind. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Johnny? I was like, what do you mean, Johnny? I'm like, who is this? And he said, Johnny, yeah, he has ex. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and then that's when I told him, you need to call the cops right now and tell them that anything you know. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, wait, I thought you were in Arizona. That's what I told him. And he's like, no, I was never in Arizona. And I told him, I just talked to you on Thursday night. You told me that you bought a flight back. Mm-hmm. I was like, so then from where? And he said, no, I've been in my house in Edmonton the whole time. I've been in Oregon. That's what he told me.
So had Johnny been lying on Thursday night? Or was he lying now?
Because you know Yanira better than most. What do you think is likely to happen?
I think at first,
I get it. It's not easy to talk about. I understand. What do you think?
I'm thinking about it, but I just haven't
I know.
spoke about it because I think at first she might have gone with him willingly at first.
And he said,
But I think later she wanted to leave. I think that she wanted to leave, but I don't think she's letting her go.
With Anna's help, the officers tracked down Javier, who was also there that night. He's the one who went looking for Yanira when she ran off.
and so then you go to Walmart, you start checking the area, and you call her. And she answers?
She answered.
Do you remember what time you called her?
No,
It's
it's hard because in the Snapchat se borra todo.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, it's okay. Roughly, what time?
I would say like 11:50.
Only it wasn't Yanira who answered. It was a man's voice.
He was like, "How many? Is that? Told you not to be talking to someone like that, like oh rude."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, whatever. So he hung up. So I think he took the phone. And then she calls me back like a minute. Yeah, like a minute. And then she's like, oh, I'll find someone to pick me up. And then like I was like, what? Are you still talking to him? And then like what otra vez?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you hear anybody else in the background?
Just her and the guy.
Or the guy?
Yeah.
And what did the guy sound like? I guess
Like it sounded like super angry.
super angry.
Yeah.
Javier doesn't know Johnny or what he sounds like, but that's who he assumes it was.
But then again, I'm like, well, she's with the ex, so they're probably talking it out. And you know how that goes. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
People change.
Yeah.
The second time the call disconnected, he couldn't reach her again, and that was the last anyone ever heard from her. Then, officials dial a phone number registered to Yanira. Someone picks up, but it's not Yanira. It's a male voice. The officer pretends to have dialed the wrong number, so as not to arouse the man's suspicion. And when they request an emergency ping, the phone's location appears to be in Hermiston, where Johnny's family lives. The Moses Lake Police Department contacts the local police there, and they show his photo around the trailer park looking for him.
Hold on, I'm going to talk to some people in the trailer park. Okay. Do you know him? No?
Probably my daughter, but she's working right now.
Okay. He's supposed to live here somewhere in the trailer park.
My son.
Looks like we just got a new ping and a different address.
Okay, hold on.
I think my son knows. He lives here in trailer.
Does he?
Yeah, he knows all the people around here.
That night, they finally find him.
Purple Hermiston Police Department to show our contact being recorded. Can you take your hands out of your pockets for me just for a second? So, I'm here because Spokane Police Department. Okay, they called me. They said that they're looking for. How do you say her name, Ernie? Yanira. Okay. So, do you have any idea where she's at?
Not at all, man. That's what I was trying to call to figure out. I just barely found out that she's missing.
Okay. So, you weren't up there at all.
I went up there, but the thing is, she was crying because she got in a fight with her friend. You know, whatever. She was hysterical, saying that she wanted to drive, and her friend was saying no because they're all.
Okay.
And she was crying. She was hysterical. And I was trying to get her to go home. She didn't want to. She said she wanted to go see Anna. She said that nobody was there for her. She's all by herself. And then how could she do that? She was just hysterical crying. So I tried to get her to go home. She didn't want to. And then she said that she was going back to Papa's. They were drinking and stuff. And then some guy was calling her doing that on Snapchat. And then she said that she was just going to go back over there.
Javier says Yanira went off with Johnny. Johnny says she went back to Javier and her friends. But who's telling the truth?
And that's why when I just found out, I was just trying to call, he was like, And I've been trying to contact her all morning, messages, calling, and nothing was. I thought she had to be blocked, so I was like, all right, because she told me to leave her alone, and she didn't want nothing to do with me because she said I'm like we're done and all that stuff. So if people are saying that she left with you, she didn't leave me, and that you went and got her, that would be that's not true. No. I'm saying like I wanted to go look for her, but I didn't. She didn't go home with me. Be willing to let's walk through, make sure she's not in the house. Yeah, like I said in there. I'm just asking if you let us look. Right now, we got the missing person investigation. We're just trying to double check.
The officers search the house, but they don't find any sign of Yanira.
Do you have any idea where she?
No, I don't know, dude. That's what weird. She's psycho, dude. Like, yeah, I see they're both. Yeah. She even messaged me one time like, I'm with a new guy, so Johnny, I'm forgetting about him and shit. Like, sent videos of her with some new guy and shit.
Outside with another officer, Johnny's story changes slightly.
Did she go with you anywhere? Well, I took her back to her house, but she didn't want to go back to her house. So, and then she ended up saying that she was going to get it because she had her keys, and she said she was going to drive to Papa's. I said, just go inside. She was going to go inside. That's the last time I saw her. And would you be willing to open the trunk for me? Yes. I appreciate it, man. We're just, we're getting weird reports, I'm worried because that's my ex, and I still care about, I still love her, dude. And, right?
Johnny tells the officers that he's using Yanira's old phone number, which is why the pings led them to him. And it's a good thing they did. It's been 2 days since Yanira was last seen, and concerns for her well-being is mounting. What the officers don't yet realize is how relevant Johnny's phone and what might be hidden on it really is. They talk to Johnny's brother-in-law, trying to understand his state of mind.
Anything unusual with him these past few days or anything like that? He's seeing, aside from obviously hearing about Yanira's, disappearance.
No, I mean, he's pretty regular. I mean, he usually, goes out to the bar all the time and hangs out right here, but here in town and stuff like that. But I mean, other than that, no, I don't see anything different about him or anything.
In the meantime, if you guys hear or see, especially Johnny, if he's starting to act odd, only because he seems pretty concerned about her.
Yeah.
You can always call us for help. You guys can always call with any questions, comments, or concerns, anything that might come up. One thing I do kind of find weird, and I guess, I don't know if you know anything about it, he deletes all his messages, or so he says.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, because, I mean, he bitches, bro. He gets, like, a lot. Like, what I mean? He's like I said, since he's broken up with her, he's been, he hooks up with a bunch of chicks. So, he's just trying to probably cover his ass if anything, if that makes girl,
Okay.
Yeah, but other than that, that's how he's always been, kind of,
The next day, Johnny comes in for an interview. He signs permission for them to search his phone and take his DNA.
So in relation to computer systems that are media storage devices to be searched, I would just write in the owner.
Then they ask about Yanira.
When did you let her know that you were probably coming to Moses to try to see her for her birthday? That's because she thought I was out of town. Because I was telling her I was out of town. I was just trying to get her jealous by making it seem like I was on vacation and stuff.
He was never in Arizona. It was a lie. He drove straight over from Hermiston and picked Yanira up, upset from her fight with Anna. He took her back to her apartment.
And then we went back to her house. She opened up the door and everything like that. We were walking over there. We were having while we were walking over there, holding hands and stuff like that. And then she kept telling me, I can't believe you came to see me, stuff. She was pretty happy. And we went at her apartment and started crying again. We were kissing. Then we went slowly down. And we did have sex. Yeah, I was going to ask you that. I was more like, we didn't have sex. Because you got we got step on her. She was talking about she just go from there. What happened after that? That's when we were laying down, and then we were talking about our relationship, everything we've been through. But she was still pretty drunk, so she was talking about that she wanted to get her car. She kept talking about her debit card because she left that box. I was like, well, let's go get that, But then she goes, I don't know where she switched up. She goes, oh, I'm gonna go get it. She goes, I don't need you to come with me. And I was like, why? And then she started quoting. She was like, told me, no, because you don't care about me. I could be pregnant. She goes, what would you do if I was pregnant? I was like, well, then, what would you want to do? I was like, she goes, I don't want if you to be my life. I always feel like she wouldn't just tell me, oh, it's your baby and it's somebody else's. I don't think she was that cool like that. She was a good person.
The detectives take note. Yanira's body hasn't been found, so she could still be alive, though the possibility is getting fainter by the day. So why is Johnny using the past tense? He says he left her apartment shortly after that.
And I remember turning around. I drove around like back and forth the apartment complex to make sure that she was not over. She was super drunk.
The sun was coming up by the time he drove home.
It's a long time compared to what you told us yesterday. Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't want to get the whole sex thing out. I was going to tell you guys.
The next morning, he tried to text Yanira, but she didn't answer. Then he got the news that she was missing.
You didn't go anywhere though? Last night. Just last night. Just the bar. With friend. They invited me. I was really fought for it, but that's when I was talking to you guys on the phone, I think. Because I was getting changed from those times when I did hit her. The time when we would fight. Yelling at each other, put each other down. The way I had in the summer. Yes, in the summer, she said that she was afraid of me. Not afraid of me like in a physical way, just afraid of me that I'll call her wherever she was at, and she'll be out, and she'll be afraid that I'll catch her to be out. Like the abusiveness, it was like mostly me, like I have stretch marks on her that she scarred me from when we fought. And the time when I hit her, I pushed her off me. I never punched her like that. I just pushed her off me, or she would fall and hit something. Obviously, I'm a jealous guy. But pretty much any guy is too, If you're talking to stuff, you're talking to me, and then you're talking to other guys, like, obviously that's gonna, that's gonna hurt. It's not striking a nerve with me.
Was that what happened that fateful night? Did jealousy strike a nerve?
I know we've been talking a lot about what happened that night, what occurred. What do you think? Well, I know this is a far stretch. I haven't talked to my sister about this, but I doubt it. But at first, I was thinking, about my mind about her baby daddy.
Apparently, the father of Yanira's children had threatened her in the past, but he doesn't drive, making him an unlikely suspect.
But I always delete my messages and call logs and stuff like that, so that's why I don't care if you guys look at the phone. Yeah. But it's not just because of her, I just have that habit of, you guys always tell me I have that habit of when I cheat on girls, just the nights that cheat on girls, I just have deleting everything. Do you think you're really that? Hope not. When we get to her from any time frame, are we gonna see anything from my business surprises? No.
Johnny, with his habit of deleting everything, thinks he's safe, but he's wrong. The next day, the detective going through Johnny's phone discovers something. Photos of Johnny and Yanira having sex. They were taken throughout the night of March 3rd, starting just after midnight and going on until 3:47 a.m. But on closer inspection, there's something wrong with these photos. Yanira isn't responsive, and as the timestamps get later, her lips begin to go blue and lividity sets in. By then, she was already dead, and these photos are evidence of a horrible crime. Using his phone location data, the detectives tracked Johnny's movements on the morning of March 4th. He claims he went straight back to Hermiston at around 5 a.m., but that's a lie. He was still in Moses Lake at 7:30 a.m. when he stopped at a Chevron gas station. The Chevron CCTV shows him pulling into a pump and collecting up some things in his car. He puts them in a bag and throws them in the trash. When the detectives go looking, they find this bag. It contains mail with his name and an old address on it, and 2 knives, a kitchen knife and a hunting knife. In Yanira's apartment, they found a knife sheath in the dishwasher, and it was a match to the kitchen knife Juan threw away. They show these knives to cadaver dogs, and the dogs respond. They're trained only to respond to the presence of human blood. After all Johnny's lies, the evidence can't be denied, and it's enough for an arrest warrant. On March 9th, The Hermiston Police Department arrests Johnny on a different charge.
So I need to take you into custody for suspended driving. You can go to my office or fill out the ticket, and it's not that big of a deal. Okay? I need you to go ahead and put your hands behind your back. Palms together. Okay, so they all think that he's being arrested for suspended misdemeanor.
The detectives from Moses Lake drive over as fast as they can.
Yeah, I need a lawyer team present. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, they arrest you on traffic warrant. They called us that they had you down here. So you want to come back and ask some more questions. Just because maybe I would want a lawyer. Huh? Maybe I would want a lawyer. You want a lawyer? Maybe, yeah.
They end the interview there, and they book him on charges of both murder and rape in the second degree. But while he sits in jail, the detective's job isn't done. Yanira's body is still missing. They cross-reference geodata, watch hours of CCTV, and even test soil samples found in Johnny's vehicle. Anything to get a clue as to where he might have buried her. Eventually, on April 12th, there's a breakthrough.
Oh, that's a body.
That's a body.
That's a body. Stop. Just, yeah, back up.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to confirm what that looks like.
Yeah, that looks like a dead body to me.
Oh yeah, but
It's pretty decomposed.
I'll just open it. I'll throw it down and all sorts of shit.
Pull it out, Kyle.
No, that's human. Look at the leg.
That's a leg. That's a female.
That's her fingernail. That's her fingernails. Yeah, not a boy.
Hey, body camera's on.
Is it on?
Yeah, body camera's on. Oh, God, that's stinchy.
Thanks to cell data, they find Yanira. Her body was wrapped in a sleeping bag and hidden in the wetlands around the Walla Walla River, an hour-and-a-half drive south of Moses Lake, and right on the way back to Hermiston. The next day, her family come to identify her body. The sleeping bag she was wrapped in belonged to her son. Initially, Johnny pleads not guilty, and his case is delayed, and then delayed again, frustrating Yanira's family, who only want justice to be done.
What do you miss most about your sister?
I think just like all the small stuff. She would always come to me for a lot of advice. Her silly messages, her silly laugh. It was so happy, full of life, full of energy. And I'm always asking God, why? Why did this guy did this to my daughter?
It's 4 years to the day after Yanira's death, and her 30th birthday, that Johnny finally pleads guilty to her killing, a count of second-degree murder with sexual motivation, on March 3, 2026. On April 28th, he was sentenced to an indeterminate life sentence with a minimum range of 123 to 220 months in prison. For the sexual component, he's sentenced to another 24 months. That's a minimum of 12 years in prison, and it could be much longer for a senseless killing motivated by possession and jealous rage. But nothing will bring Yanira back. Her 3 young children are now being raised by their grandmother, who misses her daughters every single day. What do you think about this chilling story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe, keep up with our channel, and we'll see you very soon on The Decoder.